I was renovating an office and studio in my home, and was looking to obtain a light that would buy a love seat in a relatively small space. I've done quite a bit of business with HomeGoods over the years, so I went out. I found a light with a lamp, floor lamp that had two light bulbs that worked quite well with what I wanted to do. There were four or five of them on the floor. We walked around. So I picked up one that was closest to the register. It was quite heavy. And it was marked at 69.99, I believe. Uh, anyway, checked out with it, got home, and I live about 20 miles from Home Goods here in New Orleans. Anyway, one of the sockets didn't work. One of the lights worked, one it didn't. So it took me a couple of days. It was a Saturday. So I took it back to Home Goods 2 days later to return it to get a working model. And the woman that checked me in credited it from the original receipt and said, go pick out another one. So I picked one up and went back to just to figure they give it equal exchange. She goes, oh, this is $30 more. And I said, well, it's the identical one that I bought 2 days before. And she checked into it, said, well, no, but it was marked differently. I said, well, that's not my concern. You sold me a defective unit and you have an identical one. And I drove 20 miles for it to exchange with, and that should be an easy swap out. She says, well, let me get an assistant manager here. So some young gentleman came out, a very young guy, and told him what happened. He said, I'm sorry, but we source these from maybe different suppliers. And I guess the first one was marked differently by us. And I said, well, that's not really my concern. You sold me a defective item. You have the identical item on the floor, and I assume you will just honor it. I spent time and money out here to return this thing. I think you're looking for me to make up for maybe a marking mistake that you made. He said, well, there's nothing I can do. And I said, well, are you the top guy here right now? He says, well, no, there's a young lady who was above me, and so we'll get her over here. And she came out about 10 minutes later and gave me the same song and dance. I said, we'd like to, but we can't because that's just the way we do our inventory. At which point I got very upset. A lot of people. I said, you're not standing behind your merchandise. It's not up to me for you to market, but it is identical to the piece that I was sold that is defective, and you should just swap it out. And she said, no, maybe I can give you 10% off. But I said, and by that time, I said, no, I'm not interested in correcting your marketing mistake. I just wanted the right lamp, and left. And I thought it was very, very poor business to do something like that, to try to squeeze me for a few dollars of the marking mistakes that I had when I had spent all the time and money to drive really overall 40 miles and my time to just not honor the product. Unless they're interested in driving the lamp out to my house, delivering it to me before Thursday of this week at no charge, or obviously I'd have to pay what the original price was. I mean, that's what would be the thing to do. I really don't have time to run out there.